second grade. How's everybody doing today? And welcome back to another remote learning math lesson with Mr. Enzi. So let's get started today because we are going to need one of our maths found as part of our sheet protector. And this one is called the place value chart to the hundredths place. So you're going to want to look for this math and place it in top on your sheet protector, and it's called the place value chart hundredths. So let's get started as I shrink myself into the corner. Today we are going to be doing grade 2 lesson 4.4, numeration and place value. Now numeration just means numbers. And place value is our ones, our tens, and now we're big second graders. So we're going to learn about the hundredths place. And you will need your place value math mat along with your sheet protector and, of course, your dry erase marker. So I have some numbers on the screen here. I have the number 274. 952, and 408. I wonder which of those numbers is the greatest. Which number do you think is the greatest number? Well, that number is 952. In the number 952, I have 9 hundredths. I have 5 tens, and I have 2 ones. 952. Awesome job. Which of those 3 numbers do you think is the least greatest? It's the smallest of the 3 numbers. We know that the 900 was the biggest of our 3 numbers. What do you think is the smallest? Well, the smallest one is 274. 2 hundredths, 7 tens, and 4 ones. 274. Awesome job. Today we're going to be taking a look at our 3 place values. We've started in first grade with our ones place, and we worked with all of those cubes when we started counting by ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then, once we got to 10, we learned that we had something called a long. And a long was simply made of 10 cubes stuck together. So our long was worth 10. And now, in second grade, even though we played with them in first grade, the flat is made up of 100 cubes all stuck together. It's also made up of 10 longs, because 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100 gives us a flat. So, 10 tens or 100 cubes will give us that 100 flat. Now sometimes we have to draw our base 10 blocks. When we draw a cube, we just put a dot. The dot makes up for a cube. Sometimes we have to draw a long, well, we draw kind of like a tally mark, just a little line. And if we had to draw a flat, we would just make a square. Simply like that. Nothing on the inside. So we know that the flat is worth 100, the long is worth 10, and then the cube is worth 1. And I can count by some of my base 10 blocks. Well, look here. On our screen, we have some flats. And our flats are each worth 100. So, how much do I have in all? If this is 100, And this is 100. And this is 100. And this is 100. How many 100s do I have in all? Well, I have 4 of them. And that equals 100, 200, 300, 400. So we can count our flats just by counting 100 at a time. Awesome job. Now we can also count our longs. Remember that our longs are worth 10. So whenever we see our longs, we have to count by tens. So how much do I have with my longs? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. Imagine if you had to count every little cube. You would never have time to do real math. And then we can also count our cubes. And when we count our cubes, we simply count by ones. 1, 2, 3. There we go. So today what we're going to be doing is we're going to be looking at our place value chart that you have in your sheet protector. And you're going to notice that Mr. Enzi has drawn some flats, some longs, and some cubes. I want you to draw what you see in your sheet protector. So you're going to draw 2 squares in your hundreds place. So remember, you're just going to go 1, 2. Just draw the 2 squares. You're not going to put anything on the inside, all those little lines. A simple square will represent a flat. Now, Mr. Enzi has some fancy ones so that you can see them. Mine are yellow. Yours are just going to be a square. Then you're going to draw some longs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 longs. Remember, your longs will kind of look like just tally marks, except we're not going to close the gate. So it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Simple. And then you're going to draw your cubes, which are just little dots. 1, 2, 3. So while mine looks fancy, yours is starting to look fancy because it's now all filled up. But look at the bottom of our sheet protector. The bottom of our sheet protector asks us to write in how much we have in the value. So in our hundreds place, we have to count by 100s. 100 and another 100. How much do we have in all? 100, 200. So I'm going to write 200 on that very first line. Notice that the line is under my hundreds box. So my next box in the middle, I have my longs. And I want to count by tens. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50. So on my second line in the middle, I'm going to write 50 because that's how much I have. And then I'm going to look at my ones. 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to write 3. So look at my addition problem. 200 plus 50 plus 3. Listen to how it sounds. 253. Wow, I can hear the number. 253. On that very bottom line is where we're going to write the answer to the number that we made with our base 10 blocks. 253. Notice that we have 2 hundreds, 5 tens, and 3 ones. 2 hundreds, 5 tens, and 3 ones. And we made the number 253. Awesome job. Go ahead and clear off your place value chart Let's try another. This time, I want you to draw exactly what you see. Go ahead and hit that pause button while you complete the drawing for this problem. Remember, your flats will represent just a square. Your longs in the tens place will just be little lines. And the cubes in the ones place, just some simple dots. Hit that pause button while you finish the drawing for this problem. All right, hopefully you drew exactly what you see, because now we have to count it all up. So we start with our hundreds place, because it's our biggest place. And we look at our flats. 100, 200, 300. So in the first line, I'm going to write 300. Now I'm going to move to the tens place, where we have our longs. Remember, in a tens place, we count by tens. 10, 20, 30, 40. So underneath my tens box, I'm going to write the number 40, because that's the value, how much it's worth. And then we get to our ones, where our cubes are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I wrote down how much we have in base 10 blocks. We have 300 plus 40 plus 5. Listen to what we have. 345. Now we have to be able to write that. 345. Remember, we have three numbers in our hundreds numbers. 300, 40, 5. There it is. 3 hundreds, 40, 4 tens, and 5 ones. 345. Awesome job. Go ahead and erase your sheet protector. I want you to try this one all by yourself. So you're going to go ahead and draw all of the base 10 blocks that you see. Draw your flats, draw your longs, draw your cubes, and then at the bottom, you're going to fill in the value for each, and then write the number that the base 10 blocks represents. So go ahead and hit that pause button. When you're done, hit play so that you can check to see if you did this correct. Let's check to see how you did. This time we have 100, 200, 300, 400. So I wrote 400 in my first line. Hopefully you didn't write the number 4, because we don't have just 4. We have 400. And then we have 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 in our tens place. 6 longs is 60. And we have 2 cubes. 400 plus 60 plus 2. And then we listen. 462. And we write the final number. 4 hundredths, 6 longs, and 2 cubes equals 462. Awesome job. Go ahead and clear off your sheet protector. Let's try one more. This one is a little bit tricky because you know I love to trick second graders. Go ahead and draw the place value blocks just as you see them. And then try to come up with the value for each place and see if you can write that final 3-digit number. Go ahead, hit the pause, and try this one. Hopefully you finish this one because it's time to check it. How many hundreds did we have? We had 100, 200, 300. So I wrote 300. We had 0 longs, 0 tens. So I wrote 0. And then we had 5 cubes. 300 plus 0 plus 5. And what does that equal? Well, we can listen to it. 305. So I had to write the number 305. 3 flats, 0 longs, 5 cubes. 305. Awesome job. Now, let's take a look at this problem here. If you have a whiteboard nearby, or you can even write it on your sheet protector, we have the number 743. I want you to circle the number in the hundredths place. Put an X over the number in the tens place. And underline the number in the ones place. Did you circle the 7? Put an X over the 4? And underline the 3? Because we have our hundredths, tens, and ones. Awesome job. Let's try another. Write a number with. We're going to write a 3-digit number. The number's going to have something in the hundredths place, something in the tens place, and something in the ones place. We're going to have a 4 in the hundredths place. So where would I write that 4? Well, the hundredths place is the 3rd place. Then I'm going to write the 8 in the tens place. The tens place is my 2nd place in the middle. And then a 6 in the ones place. And my ones place comes at the end. So I have the number 486. Awesome job. Today we practiced some place value, and we reviewed the ones place and the tens place, and then we focused on the hundredths place. Today you're going to have some practice activities where you're going to be counting up some base 10 blocks. So you're going to have to remember that a flat is worth 100, and a long is worth 10, and a cube is just worth 1. I can't wait to see how smart you are.